Hello, Camilla. I'm sorry to text you out of the blue like this, but I have some news. I'm sorry to say that your mother passed away a few minutes ago. She went very peacefully, just like she was going to sleep. She didn't suffer or struggle or anything.
Oh, I guess I didn't make it back in time to see her. I shouldn't have gone on this vacation after all.
Don't be too hard on yourself. Your mother wouldn't have wanted that. It was sudden, too. There was no way you could have seen it coming. Are you all right, Camilla? You're on the train right now, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm riding the train on my way home now. Don't worry about me, I'm fine. I've known this moment was coming for a long time now. I was prepared for it. I'm more concerned about Brad, to be honest. He always loved Mom so much.
Yeah, Brad's still in the room with Mom right now, saying his goodbyes.
You know, Daphne, it's times like these that make me glad that you were there with Mom. I wouldn't have been any help to her.
No, don't say that. It isn't true.
It's all right, Daphne. I'm aware of my own shortcomings. You and Bran were living with Mom, so you guys were the ones who always had to take care of her. I only came by every once in a while to say hi, that's all.
You can't help that. You have your own family to take care of.
Well, in any case, it does feel good to hear you say that, Daphne. Thank you so much. So much for taking care of Mom for the last 3 years. I'm sure it must have been super difficult for you, especially since Mom's dementia started getting worse towards the end.
I was glad to do everything I could for her. She was my mother-in-law, but she always treated me as if I was one of her own children. And yes, it certainly isn't easy to take care of an elderly woman with dementia, but I have many more fun memories of the time I've spent with her.
I know that there's no one but you that Mom would have wanted taking care of her.
Oh, thank you for saying that, Camilla. That's so sweet of you.
Again, I'm just being honest over here. I kind of feel like I wasn't a very good daughter to my mom. I mean, I'm her actual biological daughter, but I haven't been able to do a single thing for her for years. I'll bet she was angry at me for not being there when she died.
No, Camilla, I know that's not true. Back before she lost consciousness, she was always telling me to tell you that she loves you and hopes you're enjoying your life.
Really? I don't know. I always thought that I was nothing but a burden on my mom. I wasn't even around much to help her in her old age, so I wouldn't be surprised if she had completely forgotten about me.
Well, I don't have any kids of my own, so I can't say this from experience, but I'm sure that children always have a special place in their parents' hearts. So please don't think that she was bitter or angry at you. That isn't the case at all.
Wow, you really are a sweetheart. You know that, Daphne?
I'm just saying what I really think. I know this is a difficult time for you, but we'll be here for you when you get here. So please, take care on your way.
Thanks, Daphne. Will do. I'll probably be there in about 3 hours or so. Do me a favor and let Brad know I'm coming too, okay? Hey, Daphne? Wow, I guess you finished taking care of all Mom's stuff in the house, huh? You work fast. This place is immaculate. I've never seen it so clean.
Thanks, Camilla. Oh, wait, are you at the house right now? I didn't know you were coming over.
Yep, I'm here.
Oh, okay. Well, make yourself at home. Sorry, Brad and I are out at the moment. If we'd known you were coming, we might have changed our plans. We're kind of tied up at the moment, so we won't be back for quite a while.
Yeah, I know. That's exactly why I came over right now.
Huh?
Make sure you have all the rest of your stuff out of the house by the end of the day, okay?
What? Camilla, what are you talking about?
Okay, so the other day, Mom's lawyer came by my house. He brought Mom's will with him, and he said he needed to read it to me. And guess what it said? Mom said she wants me to inherit the family house.
Oh, is that so?
Yep, but wait, there's more. She also said that she's not leaving Brad anything. Not one single cent. Not 1 square inch of property. Nothing.
But that doesn't make any sense. I don't understand. Brad and his mom always had an incredibly close relationship.
What's the matter, Daphne? Are you crushed to hear that Mom didn't leave anything behind for you? What, is that the reason you took care of her for all these years? You just wanted your piece of the pie when she died?
No, that's not true at all. I was never going after her money. It's just, well, it just doesn't make sense. She didn't leave anything to Brad? Nothing at all? I find that incredibly hard to believe.
Yeah, well, I am the oldest child in the family. I guess she must have just loved me more than him. I mean, I didn't do anything to help her out after she got too old to live by herself. And she still left me with everything. She must have really adored me.
Well, I suppose if that's what your mother wanted, then I'll respect her wishes. We'll move out of the house. However, could you give us a bit more time? I mean, you want us out today? That's not logically feasible. We'll need to find a new place to live, somewhere to store everything until we can move in. It's going to take us some time to take care of all that.
Oh, you don't have to worry about that. I already did you the favor of throwing all your stuff out into the front yard.
You what?
So, yeah, you should probably get back here and pick it all up as quickly as possible. It's garbage pickup day tomorrow. They might think it's garbage and take it all down to the dump.
Camila, why are you doing all of this? You've never been like this before. I didn't think you were the type of person who would throw out all of our belongings like that.
Oh my God, you really are clueless, aren't you? I was only being nice to you because you were looking after my mom for me. That, and I was kind of concerned whether or not mom was going to leave me any inheritance. If she left everything to Brad like I expected she would, I was going to go to you and beg you to share it with me. I've been rehearsing exactly what I would say, and I even figured out how to make myself cry. On demand. It's kind of too bad that I won't get to show off my acting skills now. But seriously, you didn't notice? Don't you think I was being just a little too nice to you? You're such a moron.
I can't believe it. You've been planning this all along? How could you? You betrayed both me and my husband's trust.
Yeah, go ahead. Call me what you want. Get it all out of your system. Nothing's gonna change the fact that I'm getting everything, and you're getting nothing.
And to think I was concerned about how you would handle your mother passing.
You don't need to be concerned about me anymore. I'm gonna be rich! All you need to do is get back here and clear all your junk off of my property by the end of the day. Got it? Me and my husband are so excited about settling into our new house. Hey there, Daphne. How are things, sweetheart?
What do you want?
Well. Aren't we feeling nasty today? Be careful, Daphne. Your sweet and submissive personality is the only thing you've got going for yourself. If you give that up, what will you have left?
I'm sweet to the people who deserve it. You don't.
Don't you think you ought to be a little more careful about how you speak to me? You guys are in big-time financial crisis, aren't you?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh, sure you don't. Sure. You're not fooling anyone, Daphne. You know just as well as I do that you and Brad were ruined the day I kicked you out of the house. I mean, I see you two meandering around the local park just about every day. Are you living there now? You're homeless, aren't you? Plus, I've seen you eating meals there too.
Well, you're right about one thing. We have been taking walks through the park quite regularly lately. We moved into the condominium complex that's right across the street from that park. So it's become part of our routine to grab a coffee and donut from the nearby cafe in the afternoon and go for a stroll in the park.
Huh? The condominium complex? You mean the one that just got built recently?
Yep, that's the one.
Okay, you're going way too far with the lies now. There is no way that you and Brad are living in one of those condos. What's your goal here, Daphne? Did you think you were going to show me up by lying about living in a luxury condo or something?
It's not about showing you up at all, Camilla. All I'm doing is telling you the plain and simple truth.
Wait a minute. Don't tell me. The reason Mom didn't leave Brad anything in her will was because she already gave you all the money while she was still alive? That's it, isn't it? That's not fair. No one ever said anything about that to me.
Calm down there, Camilla. That's not what happened.
Then explain yourself. How on earth were you two able to move into that luxury condo?
It's quite simple, really, if you think about it. We've been living with your mom for over 3 years now, and in all that time, we didn't have to pay 1 single cent on rent, utilities, that sort of thing. Plus, when I wasn't taking care of your mom, I was working from home. With extremely low expenses as well as 2 incomes, we've been able to save up quite a good deal of money.
Okay, sure. Maybe. But enough to live there? There's no way.
It's not just the money we've saved up in the last few years. Brad and I also had quite a bit of savings from when we were single. Neither of us have any expensive hobbies or interests, so yeah, we had more than enough money to move here.
I don't believe that stupid story for 1 second. You're still sore for me taking everything away from you, and are just saying this to make me feel jealous. I see right through you.
I'm not really concerned whether you believe me or not. We don't have any intentions to invite you over for dinner anytime soon, or ever, frankly. Really, we'd rather not have anything to do with you ever again, if at all possible.
Yeah, well, the feeling's mutual. I don't want to see either of your faces again.
If that's true, then why did you go out of your way to text me just now?
I wanted to give you a warning. I don't care how much trouble you're in. I will never give you a single cent of the money or property I got from Mom. A couple of broke losers like you would just waste it on something stupid anyway.
I see. Understood. Thank you for the warning.
Now, never show your face around here again. You don't even deserve to look at Mom's old house. She kicked you out, not me. She hated you and loved me. Only me. The only reason she kept you losers around is to be live-in nursing staff. Don't blame me or even Mom. It's your fault for being such losers. Daphne, are you there? Where's Brad? Is he with you right now?
No. He's out of town on work. He won't be back until tomorrow at the earliest.
Ugh. Okay, well, then is something going on with his phone? I keep trying to call him, but the calls don't go through.
Oh, I can explain that. He's not in the country right now. He went to his company's UK headquarters for a global conference.
Oh man, okay, then I guess I'll just have to talk to you. They're trying to kick us out of the house.
What? Who's they?
Mom was in debt, like a lot of debt. You guys didn't know?
Wow, really? I had no idea.
You really didn't know?
No, Camilla, I'm sorry. This is the first I've ever heard of it.
Mom had about $100,000 in her savings account, but even that isn't enough to pay it all off. I mean, we could even sell the house, and that wouldn't be enough to pay it off. And now I'm on the hook for that debt.
Well, I'm afraid there's nothing that you can do about that. You were the sole inheritor of your mother's estate. That means that you get all of her assets, including negative ones.
I had no idea she was in so much debt, but a bunch of guys in suits came by the other day and told me that I gotta pay. I asked them why, and they said that since I had spent some of her money and was living in the house, I have no choice. You might not have known, but Brad had to have known. He tricked me!
Oh, wait a minute. That reminds me. Before your mother passed away, she gave me a letter.
A letter? What did it say?
That's the thing. I never opened it. She said that I should open it if I ever needed answers. She also said that it wasn't her will, though. I had no idea what to do with it, so I just set it aside up until now.
Yeah, well, I need some answers, so read it right now. Maybe she had more assets that she didn't tell us about, like a bunch of gold bars buried in the backyard or something.
Okay, give me a moment.
Hurry it up! I'm in the middle of a bona fide crisis over here. My husband is furious. He says there's no way he's gonna pay it off for me. If I don't get my hands on a lot of money fast, he's probably gonna divorce me.
Oh, everything makes perfect sense now.
Did you read it? What did it say?
It says here that your mom's plan all along was to force her debt onto you.
What?
Back when your mom was still alive, you were taking money out of your mother's account without her permission, weren't you? Not only that, you took some of her jewelry and other valuable things, sold them, and kept the money for yourself. And despite all that, you would come crying to her all the time, saying you had no money and needed help.
I have a family to support. We've gone through some hard times. I thought I could count on her to support me. She was my mother, after all.
From what your mother says, you were asking her for quite an unreasonable amount of money. She also recounts what you said to her when she came to you and asked you to help her out around the house. I have way better things to do with my time than babysit an old woman. Did you really say that to your own mother? Jeez. She also said that after she was diagnosed with early signs of dementia, she noticed that anytime she left you alone in a room with her wallet, a few bills would mysteriously go missing. But apparently, the thing that finally pushed her over the edge was when you stole the ring that your father gave to her on their anniversary and sold it for scrap gold.
I don't believe it. She remembered all that stuff?
She was only in the early stages of dementia when she passed away, Camilla. Do you know how dementia works? You don't suddenly forget everything overnight. And even if dementia gets worse, there are times when people remember things very clearly and times when they forget. It's a pretty unstable condition.
So you mean to tell me that my mom really was mad at me all this time?
Well, based on a simple reading of the letter she gave me, I'd say yes, she was very mad at you. She got so sick and tired of you stealing her things, she decided she would put a stop to it. She took out a large loan and simply left it in her account. And you took the bait.
Wait, hold on. That means the money I was taking out of her account, that wasn't hers? That was the money she borrowed?
Yep, that's exactly right. She was also deliberate to only make payments on the interest so that you would be left with the full amount of the principal.
I can't believe it. How could she do this to her own daughter?
Considering all the terrible things you did to your own mother, I'd say you don't have any room to complain.
I've got plenty of room to complain. I'm screwed. What am I supposed to do now?
Don't ask me. I guess your best option is to sell the house and work off the rest.
But if I sell the house, where am I supposed to live?
I'm pretty sure there's a nearby building where you can get a studio apartment for about $3,000 a month.
I can't live there. Are you kidding me? Oh man, what am I gonna do? Wait, you're living in that sweet luxury condo, aren't you? Let us live with you.
No.
Why not? It's not like you're using all the space. You don't have any kids or anything. It's just the two of you. You can let us stay in your spare room for a few months.
The issue isn't whether or not we can. We have no responsibility or duty to help you out at all.
Don't you understand how much debt I just got thrown onto me?
I have a pretty good idea, but I also don't see how that's any of my problem.
You have to help. I'm your sister-in-law. Brad's my younger brother.
I distinctly remember you saying that you didn't want to see either of our faces ever again.
I'm sorry. I'm really, really sorry. I'm sorry for kicking you out of the house. I'm sorry for rubbing it in about you guys not getting any inheritance. I'm sorry for everything.
I don't need or want an apology from you. There's nothing you could say or do that would get us to forgive you for what you've done.
Well, maybe you won't forgive me, but what about Brad? I know that he'll help me for sure once he knows how much trouble I'm in. He's always loved me, ever since we were little kids. I'm his big sister.
He explicitly told me that I don't need to waste any time dealing with you anymore.
But then why did you even respond to my text just now?
Actually, I turned off notifications for you a while ago. I was planning to block you, but I never got around to it until now. I was about to do just that when I saw you had texted me. You seemed like you were panicking about something, so I thought it might be entertaining to see what your problem was. And boy, oh boy, was I right.
You're the worst. I'm in the biggest crisis of my life right now, and you're mocking me?
I'm the worst? If I was the worst, then why are you the one that got stuck with all that debt instead of me?
Please, Daphne, please, I'm begging you. It's fine if you don't want to let us live with you, but can you at least give us some money? If you can afford to live in that condo, then you have to have enough savings to give us a hand.
I wouldn't even loan you $100 if I had Elon Musk kind of money.
Come on, Daphne. I don't want to deal with all Mom's debt.
You're the one who drove her to take out all that debt, Camila. Not to mention your mother never even used any of the money she borrowed for herself. That was all you. You spent the money and now you can pay it back.
I already told you I can't. Why won't you help me out? I'm practically on my knees begging you.
After everything you've done and said to us, do you really expect I'd roll over so easily and help you out?
I already apologized to you for all that stuff. You want me to apologize again? Fine. Sorry. There. I said it again. How about now?
I'm sorry, Camila, but even if I wanted to help you out, I can't. We don't have any money to give you.
You're lying. You bought that condo, didn't you? Then you have to have some money.
Oh, don't get me wrong. We do have money. We just don't have any money to give to a low-down, conniving, lying, deceitful woman like you. Seriously, you've got some gall, Camila. You told us that you never wanted to see us again, but now you're coming around and begging for handouts? Have some dignity.
It's not like I want to have to beg you for money. It's all my mom's fault for sticking me with this massive debt. She deceived me. I'm the victim.
Sure, you may have been deceived, but don't think for a second that you're the victim here. If you're a victim at all, you're only a victim of your own misdeeds. Don't be mad at me, be mad at yourself. Not long after that last text exchange, Camila exhausted all of her options and decided to sell her mother's house. However, that was only enough to cover half of the debt she was now on the hook for. As for the other half, Camilla's going to have to pay that all back on her own. She told me her husband said he wasn't going to pay it, and it looks like he meant it. He left her behind and moved back in with his parents while she figured everything out by herself. Apparently, if Camila had acted sooner, she could have disclaimed her inheritance and avoided this mess altogether. However, it just so happens that I read the contents of that letter to her just one day after the legal deadline for disclaiming. Ouch. Although, since she had already spent a bunch of money on herself, she probably would have had a difficult time disclaiming anyway. A few days ago, I saw her standing out on the street in front of our condominium building, scowling up at where our room was. We called security on her. They promptly whisked her away from the premises, and we never saw her again after that. I have no idea where she is right now or what she's doing. Well, I take that back. I'm fairly certain that she's still struggling to deal with her mother's special parting gift for her. As for me and my husband, we were never after his mother's estate. We decided to move in with her and take care of her because we love her. Not to mention we legitimately enjoyed spending time with her. To be honest, though, his mom did give both of us some very nice watches while she was still alive. And when I say very nice, I mean very nice. Neither of us were very knowledgeable about watches, but we looked them up sometime after his mother passed. When we saw how much they were selling for, we were blown away with how expensive they were. Also, since they were made in a limited production run, their value is only expected to increase in the future. I suppose you could say these watches were the inheritance that my mother-in-law left for us. But they're not the only things she left behind. No, far more valuable than the precious metals and gems in these watches are all the memories of the time we shared together. My mother-in-law was always a kind and gentle person to me, so I was a bit surprised to find out about the intricately planned revenge she came up with for Camila. I'll bet knowing she was able to teach her a lesson she'll never forget was what helped her pass away so peacefully.